Is the intelligence in this new report solid? And if so, what should the United States and Israel do now? Michigan Republican Congressman Mike Rogers is chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. He's with us from Capitol Hill. Mr. Chairman, thank you for your time today. Do you believe, let's start with a yes or no question, do you trust this report? Do you believe the intelligence is solid?
I do. Our intelligence community has been reporting on much of this over many months now. So I do believe it. It is a new revelation in the sense that this is a very public revelation about, I think, Iranian intentions and where they're at when it comes to enriching uranium, being non-compliant with the IAEA. I mean, there's a lot of troubling things in this report.
So I'm going to read a bit from the findings. The agency has serious concerns regarding possible military dimensions to Iran's nuclear program. After assessing carefully and critically the extensive information available to it, the agency finds the information to be overall credible. The information indicates that Iran has carried out activities relevant to the development of a nuclear explosive device. It goes on to say it's trying to develop a payload it can deliver on a missile. The big question tonight, Mr. Chairman, is how far away? How long would it take Iran to have a nuclear weapon it could launch on a missile?
I still think that's the million-dollar question. There still is some debate in the community. Is it 6 months, 12 months, 24 months? They are clearly on the path. Now I think what we've got to do, John, is say, listen, we're either serious about this or we're not. And we're either going to make this a bilateral, or raise it at least on the bilateral relationships we have with Russia and China. We are going to step out on this and talk to our European allies in a way we haven't talked before. And really importantly, the president needs to lead on this. And I know he's off on his campaign start. This is incredibly important, and this is the time for the president to step in the Rose Garden, show this report, and say, we, the United States, are serious about this. Letting Israel move forward on a military action is not a good option for the United States. We need to get the world united around very tough sanctions.
Well, you're not only privy to the intelligence on Iran, you're privy to any intelligence the United States is picking up about Israel's intentions and about Iran's intentions. And I want you to listen to the Israeli Defense Minister, Ehud Barak. He says Israel does not want a confrontation, but if it happens, the state of Israel will not be destroyed, and there will not be 10,000 dead and not even 500 dead. In other words, if Israel strikes, it's going to strike hard. And the Iranian Defense Minister responds, Mr. Chairman, by saying Iranian armed forces are in full combat readiness and will give a crushing response to those daring to attack the country. If we are in such a volatile, tense situation, how long does anyone have to stop the Israelis from doing something?
And if the Israelis get to the point, John, where they see or they believe there's an imminent threat where they're going nuclear, if you will, they're going to take action. There is no doubt in my mind they'll do that. Now the trick is how far will the United States go in rallying international pressure so that we can back Israel down
back them how, sir? When you say the president needs to rally international pressure, does he need to put a military option on the table today? Does he need to go how far in escalating sanctions? Sanctions, as you know, over the years haven't done much to sway Tehran to change its course.
Well, that's because we haven't really aggressively gone after it. There are two 800-pound gorillas in the room. One is if we really aggressively went after their ability to not import refined petroleum, huge. What they have been able to sell their products and then refine it somewhere else and bring it back in. If we were really serious about putting a hurt on them, that's how they survived the tough economic times.
So blockade Iran? Should the United States blockade Iran?
No, not blockade. We can put sanctions on, so it'd be very difficult for them to get their oil out and then refined product back in. That we don't have to blockade. I'm not talking about a naval blockade. I'm talking about real sanctions. Now, you have to get China and Russia to go along with this. It's going to be effective, number one. Number two, we ought to really take a look at the central bank. We know that the central bank is involved, of Iran, is involved in the process of facilitating, if you will, through financial movements, them increasing their pace when it comes to enriching uranium. So those are two great options. If we talk about it for a long time, if we're not really leading on it, I will tell you, we leave this option to the Israelis, and the Israelis don't want to do this, John. Don't get me wrong. They're not chomping at the bit to do this, but they believe that their national security is at risk, and they're going to take action that's going to protect them. Now it's up to us, and this is why I think it's so important that the president lead on this. This is really important that the president notch this up, get out there with this report, and start challenging the Chinese and the Russians to come along and really put tough, for the first time, really tough sanctions that hurt Iran economically. That's how we're going to change this equation.
Mr. Chairman, I appreciate your time tonight.
Yeah, thanks, John.
Take care, sir.